first I'm going to review the outside areas of the brain. So it is cut in half, but I'm holding it together. But as you can see, this right here is the cerebrum. It is cut in half by a fissure. So this is the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, and then the occipital lobe will be in the back, and then the temporal lobe is found farther under here. Okay, so next I'm going to identify some of the key interior parts of the brain. I have a list over here, and I will start with it. So first, this is the cerebellum. This controls the balance in the body. And then we have the penile body, which is kind of hard to see, but it is right down here, and that secretes melatonin. Next, we have the thalamus, which is right here, and that is a sensory relay center in the brain. Next, we have the corpus callosum, that connects the two hemispheres of the brain, so the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. So if you go like this, they're the right and left hemisphere. So the corpus callosum is right down the middle, and it connects the two. All right, next on the list is a sulcus. So that is just going to be a groove in the brain. And then we have a gyrus, which is a fold in the cerebral cortex. And this one's a little more difficult to see, but up here would be an olfactory bulb, which synapses, and then with neurons of the olfactory nerves. And then down here, which is also a little more difficult to see, but we have an optic nerve. Next is the hypothalamus. So it's anterior to the thalamus, so it would be right back here, and that is to maintain homeostasis within the body. Down here, we would have the hypophysis, or the pituitary gland, which essentially secretes hormones into the body. And then next, right up here, we would have the midbrain, and that is between the pons and the dicephalon. And then here is the pons. Again, this is a little more difficult to see, but sorry, I had my cut in half. But the pons would be just right in here, and that helps connect the cerebellum to other parts of the brain and spinal cord. And then next we have the medulla, which is also back here, and this controls some important aspects of the body, such as breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. Some more information about the interior of the brain. There are 4 ventricles within the brain. And then I also want to talk about I had touched on that the midbrain was between the pons and the diencephalon. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but so the diencephalon is made up of the thalamus, hypothalamus, and the pineal gland. So the diencephalon is made up of 3 different things, as well as the brainstem. So the brainstem is the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. So those 3 make up the brain. To talk about the nerves and matter in the brain. So there are 12 nerves that leave the brain, which it would be hard to identify all of them, but there are 12. And then next I'll talk about white and gray matter. So gray matter is going to be anything you find on the interior of the cerebrum, and the white matter will be what you find on the interior. So like for example, this would be gray matter right up through here, and then white matter would be more internally. So for example, right through here. Alrighty, so this is all the information I have on the sheep brain. I hope you enjoyed.